Everyone, and good Monday evening to you. It is Weather for Weather Geeks time. We've got some things to talk about this week, specifically, of course, revolving around the Thanksgiving holiday coming up in a few days in these socially distant times and trying to do the holidays right. We've been hoping for some decent weather on Thursday to maybe take some of the festivities outdoors, maybe even be able to eat outdoors. Forecast isn't looking great for that. We'll get to that in a moment, but let's first review our Monday numbers. 44 on the high side today, 34 on the low side this morning. Far cry from any records today. 74 and 4 are the records for today's date. Now, we did have 0.05 inches worth of rain at the airport this morning. We also had some wet snowflakes at times. Mid-morning, we had a couple of snow showers that pushed through earlier on today. I wanted to do a little reminiscing. This week is the 70th anniversary of what is kind of the benchmark snowstorm for our region. What I mean by that is, when you look back at the last, about 90 years, this storm probably is the one that has the true highest snow amounts. Now, we've had big storms. A lot of people remember the March 93 blizzard, December of 2010, the blizzard of 78, things like that. But while snow drifts were a big issue, and everybody remembers the wind and the snow drifts and the blizzard of 78, keep in mind, eastern Ohio, western PA, we didn't have snow amounts that were through the roof in that storm. The highest amounts were in western Ohio because we were actually on the warmer side of the 78 blizzard for a good chunk of it. Then the cold air wrapped in. We had our snow. We had a handful of inches, 7-8 inches in some spots, but not 2 feet like we had back in November of 1950. Ohio State and Michigan played during this snowstorm. There were no first downs in the entire game. Michigan won 9-3 down in Columbus, but officially at the Youngstown Airport, 27 inches worth of snow from this system this week, back in 1950, right around Thanksgiving time. We didn't have anything like that today, but we did have a couple of snow showers that pushed through this morning, a couple of sprinkles and rain shower. That was about it. Otherwise, kind of an uneventful, kind of a nondescript gray November day for most of the day, even though we did have some parting of the clouds late today, leading to a decent sunset. Here's a look at our next weather maker across the middle of the country. This is actually I drew a cold front, but it's actually a warm front. Let me do this the right way. Let's do meteorology right tonight. There's the warm front. That's what's tracking our way tomorrow and into Wednesday. It'll spread an increasing deck of clouds in our area tomorrow, and then, of course, some rain's heading our way on Wednesday. But I think it will be dry through the daylight hours on Tuesday, despite the thickening clouds. Might get grazed by a shower here a few hours after sunset tomorrow evening as the warm front makes its approach, but not looking at much. By far and away, the better chance for rains on Wednesday, especially Wednesday afternoon. Once the rain pushes in, it turns into a washout second half of the day on Wednesday and into Wednesday night. And then the big question is, what about Thanksgiving? Well, the good news is the steady, moderate rain that we're going to have Wednesday afternoon will not be here Thursday. The bad news is we're going to be stuck under this low overcast on Thursday. And it looks to me just like a classic drizzle kind of a day on Thursday, where it's going to mist and drizzle and just kind of be murky a lot of the day. And temperatures won't move a whole lot. It's not going to be cold by late November standards. In fact, we'll be about 7 degrees above average on Thursday, but it's not going to be the best looking day, that is for sure. We had between 3/4 of an inch and an inch worth of rain over the weekend. Our next rainmaker Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night probably brings somewhere on the order of a half an inch to maybe 2/3 of an inch. That's what's advertised by our modeling right now. So here's what I've done with the Thanksgiving forecast. If you're going to be on Zoom with some distant family members, again, Thanksgiving may look a little different for a lot of us this year. Indoors, it's going to be warm, it's going to be humid, and I'll have plenty of Thanksgiving puns with the forecast coming later this week. Outdoors, 51, light rain. Again, won't be 31, but a little bit of rain is not what we were hoping for on Thanksgiving. All right, the longer range as we close the book on November and head into the month of December. I think this is going to be a little bit of an upside-down looking map. What I mean by that is the temperature anomalies, the difference from average. The warm anomalies are going to be up over Canada, and near the U.S.-Canadian border. Actually looks cooler than average, by a fair margin even, for parts of the southern tier of the U.S., the Gulf Coast states, and will be somewhere in the middle. It looks to me like kind of a nondescript pattern by the start of December. Not a cold pattern. Not nearly as cold as it could be in early December, but it also doesn't look as warm compared to the average as it does for places like Minneapolis, Fargo, Saskatchewan, Alberta. A lot of the Canadian provinces look very balmy early in December. Again, for us, our December average highs early in the month are in the lower 40s, upper 30s, and I foresee plenty of weather like that early on in the month. We'll have more updates on the early December forecast and the overall December forecast in future editions of this video. I'll see you back here on Tuesday for the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast.